Here we go. Okay, so welcome guys to the class where we are going to learn how to strengthen your intuition and your connection to the divine. My name is Sweta Iyer, and we're going to go ahead and do a visualization and a guided meditation to get into the flow of things. What I want you to do is to really just become quiet and connect to your heart, to your heartbeat, so to speak, or to your breath, whichever one works. I will close my eyes. It helps me become more centered. So if you would like to do that, you're more than welcome to do it. All right, here it goes. Visualize the sun above your head. Take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath, visualize the sun above your head, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. Take another deep breath and visualize the sun flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. In this moment, give yourself permission to just be. Repeat these words after me. I am love. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I am love. I am one with the universe. I release what no longer serves me. I am love. Let these words settle into your vibration. Take one last deep breath and visualize the sun above your head, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. Okay. Okay. So when I do a visualization, the reason I do that when I start any kind of class or any kind of conversation with a client, it's to really bring us back to the center, okay? One thing that I want you to understand about your intuition is that your intuition is your GPS, right? So I want you to think about what the GPS does, okay? So if you see, this is my phone. Most people have their GPS on here. So most people use Waze or they use Google Maps or, you know, whichever other ones that they have. Before we used to have the bulky ones, right? So I want you to really think about what a GPS is. Now, if any of you are not into GPS, they believe they need to use maps. That's okay too. So think about a map and think about a GPS, whichever one you're able to work with. Here's the thing. When you are thinking about how to get to your destination, one, you need to know where your destination is, okay? So in spiritual work or in energy work, we call your destination your intention, okay? And I want you to remember this. Your destination is the intention you set where you want to be. So for example, if someone were to ask me, where do you want to be a year from now? And I give a general answer, I want to be happy. Well, that's good, but I'm not giving much more. I'm just saying I want to be happy. Now that could mean someone gives me flowers and I'm happy, then that's it. But what does my happiness mean? Like, what do I want more of, right? So what happens with people is that sometimes you get very, very technical. You get say, I want A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it has to look like that. So one of the things that I tell most people is don't get too broad and don't get too broad and don't get too specific, okay? What does that mean? It means that you want to have a general idea where your destination is. Now, if you're very specific because you know that you're going to end up in, you're going to end up in a place of, let's say, like you're going to make $1 million, you know for sure, right? And so you're like, I want $1 million by X, Y, and Z. Now, if you were to work with me, I would say, how about we entertain that you're going to make a certain amount of money and you're open to making more money. So even if you make about $1 million, you leave the possibility for making more. You know, sometimes people are like, well, no, I want, like, that's a lot of money for me. But the point is, you don't know if you can make more money. So you're removing that possibility. So don't get very narrow and don't get very broad. Okay, that's one. So even setting an intention is an art, right? Now, what does intention have to do with intuition, connection to the divine? We're getting into that. So first thing, your intention is your destination when it comes to a GPS or the map, right? Now, everyone's destination looks different from each other. Very rarely, even I think about like 8 or 9 people on this call. I bet you each one of us has a very different destination. Now, when you're in a relationship, okay, when you're in a relationship, you will see that people expect both parties to be going into the same destination. But even in a relationship, you're not necessarily going to be going the same way, all right? So keep that in mind. So if you're having trouble with your partner because you want to go towards the same destination, just realize that right now, you both are not in the same place. You don't have to end up at the same destination, all right? So keep that in mind, because I think sometimes people get really frustrated because they're like, I want to have the same goals as my partner, blah, 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 all of that stuff. It gets very mixed up. So we have a bunch of people that have joined us. Welcome, everyone. I haven't done the reading. I'll do it at the end of the class. I did announce that one person I'm going to intuitively pick up for a 30-minute energy assessment, okay? Free. So that's my gift to you for showing up for these classes and just investing time in yourself, okay? All right, so going back. So our intuition is our GPS. It's our guiding system. Now, think about the olden GPS, right? Or a map. They weren't real time, correct? They weren't telling us where the traffic is. Having a map is helpful, but it wouldn't tell me how much traffic I have on the road so that I can escape it, or at least like plan better. What do you have now are smartphones that carry these GPSs that get you real-time information, correct? So you have the traffic, you have the accidents, you have, I mean, I love Waze, I use Waze, and in Waze they give you real-time information, which is really, really helpful. So it's like, okay, so how do you go from developing the real-time GPS? That's what your intuition is about, right? You want to have the most upgraded GPS for yourself. So this is why I'm calling it a GPS. Life is like a journey, okay? And we've heard this before, but it really is. You are not going to be sure what necessarily tomorrow is going to bring, a month from now is going to bring, 10 years from now is what it's going to bring, right? Generally speaking, all of your assumptions about your life are based upon what's going on today, right? So imagine the people that go through some kind of tragedy. Maybe a month before that, they were completely fine. Everything was working out. They had the job, they had the relationship, they had the health, whatever. And suddenly things don't work out. Now, I've been there where things weren't working for me, right? And it was probably one of the best things that happened, because it made me see things for what they were instead of holding on to things that weren't working for me just because it was comfortable. So one, most of our assumptions about the future are not based on our intuition. I want you to understand that, okay? They're not based on our intuition. They're based on facts, on our situation right now. So when you think about that, how are you so sure that just because you believe this is how it's going to be a year from now, it's really going to be a year from now? A lot could change. So why is healing important? Why is self-work important? Why is energy work important? Why is any of this even relevant or important? Why is developing your intuition important? Well, I'll tell you why it's important. Because you cannot predict everything. It is literally impossible to predict everything in life, right? You can have a damn good idea though. I'll give you an example. I had a client who was wanting to have some meeting. I would say like something that was going to be like very important, probably on some weekend. And we talked about it. And I just had a feeling it was a bad idea. And I said, look, I get the sense it's not the best idea for you to do it. And, this client was like, no, everything's fine. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead with the meeting. And then 3 days ago, I got a call saying, so much stuff came up. I don't think I should be doing this meeting. And so I said, well, we talked about this. And this client was like, exactly. I had to tell you. And what I realized is a lot of times you might have a feeling about something, but you don't have an explanation for it. Okay? I want you to keep that in mind. You can't always explain what you're feeling. Okay? This is a very important part of your intuition. Now, if you can't explain, how does it still make sense? Because more often than not, when you don't listen to that feeling, you pay a bigger price at the end of it. Okay? I want you to let that sink in. How many times have you made decisions and you kind of regretted it because you didn't listen to that feeling? The feeling inside of your heart. The feeling in your body. Like you go to a party and everybody there is like so nice, but somehow you just don't feel like it's feeling right, And you're like, no, but everyone's so nice. What's going on? And then later on, it turns out that the person who you're sitting next to was just not very nice, or they were speaking something about you. Your body always will tell you more than your mind. Gemma is saying so many times, I'm trying to get better at just going with my gut no matter what I think. Exactly. It's a discipline. It's a practice. Okay? It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Then why do it? Because it's worth it. Because you will save yourself a lot of trouble. I heard a story, okay, about this family that decided to invest in some property. Now, this is not someone I know, but I heard from somebody that I do know. They decided to invest in a property and something didn't feel right to them. But they said, you know what? The market looks good. The pricing is good. This is a damn good investment. Let's do it. Well, they did. The housing crisis hit them, and their property was of no value. No value. If they had known, they have something called an internal GPS. Okay? That the internal GPS was saying, too much traffic, don't go. Road blockage, do not travel. Bad weather, too many cops on the road, whatever you want to call it. Do not travel. Do not make that decision. But they weren't aware. They had a feeling. Everybody has intuition, okay? Everybody has intuition. How good they are at listening to the intuition makes the difference between somebody who makes their life easier and somebody who doesn't. Now, I will say this. A lot of times people will try to talk you out of your intuition, right? Because they are not A, knowing that they have intuition, B, they don't listen to it. So what happens for a lot of us, now you guys have been part of the community. I know most of you are interested in healing. You do understand there's something called intuition. So it's not for you that I'm saying this part, but it's for the people that you deal with. So people around you are going to give you opinions. They're going to say, well, you're just, you're overthinking this. Oh, you're just so sensitive. No, you don't. And you don't have any good reason. If you don't have any good reason, why are you saying it? And that's where you have to realize you don't have all the facts yet, but your GPS is telling you, hey, something's off. Okay, I want that to sink in, because part of what happens with most of us, we want to give an explanation to other people. So a lot of your time and energy is wasted in trying to explain and justify your intuition. Okay, so that's the one thing. Even as much as I've been doing this, I still get into the place where I'm like, why do I feel this way? And now, after seeing so many clients, after doing this work for as long as I've been doing it, I realized that, you know what? I don't always need an explanation because now I have a relationship with my GPS, right? That's what you guys are here for. You're not here to create intuition, to create the universe. It's already here. You have that. You have intuition. If you didn't have intuition, we couldn't have this conversation. So the thing is, you do have intuition. Now, how do we build your intuition? Let's talk about that. And how do we know it's not your intuition and something else? Well, one, you have to make it a daily practice. You can't go to your intuition when you're in a state of panic and expect it to work. So let me give you an example. Say, for example, your friend comes to you in a state of panic, right? They're panicked about something. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they broke up with somebody, whatever it is. Like they are in a state of panic. Okay? Well, so they come to you, they ask you for suggestions and whatever, and you're talking to them, right? But they're in such a state of panic that they can't hear anything you have to say. So even if you have really great suggestion, your friend's not hearing anything you have to say because they're in a state of panic. Now, this is what most people expect. They say, but I really want to develop my intuition. However, I don't want to spend any time developing it. So you decide you want to go visit it now and then, and you're somehow going to hear the messages. It doesn't work that way. Because when you're in a state of panic, you're not able to hear properly. You can't discern if it's your panic that is giving you the answer or it's your intuition. Okay? So the consistent practice is a part of developing your intuition, because then you know, is it your fear talking or is it your higher self talking to you? So I'm going to repeat that. Is it your fear talking or is it your intuition, your higher self giving you the answer, giving you the direction? Okay? Here's another thing. I know what my destination is, right? Like I have an idea. I want to grow my business so much. I want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm not going to see everything. I'm not going to have all the roads figured out. I won't have the temperature. I won't know how many accidents could happen. I don't know all that. I don't. Maybe my journey, maybe my destination is going to take me a year to get there. Okay? But in the year, my goal is to be there as quickly as I can with the least amount of distractions and the least amount of traffic. Okay? So I want to try and make it so that I use my intuition to avoid problems that I don't feel like I can deal with. I'll give you an example. I started doing this, right? I'll give you a few examples that are really helpful. So for example, sometimes you feel like you have to call a friend back or you have to call somebody back. And sometimes you just don't want to. You're like, I don't want to, but I really should, this, that, this. And I started experimenting with that. I would say, okay, do I really need to call this person right now? Like, what is my reluctance telling me? And I would feel it in my body. This is not something you need to do right now. And with me, I hear a voice, right? Because I've developed my abilities. Now, everybody can develop them. I'm not special. I've been doing it for a while. I have a gift, yes, just like each and every one of you has a gift, but I have been working on it. So what started happening is I realized every time I would do something because my ego was interested in it, because I had all the facts, somehow it didn't work. But then I would hear the voice or I would listen to my body. Suddenly that stuff would work out. So for example, I was debating I think it was like taking on a client, right? And one of the things is everything was fine. We had a great conversation, but something didn't feel right in my body. Now you have to understand, at the end of the day, if it's a client and they're paying you, great, you want to take them on as a client. But here's the thing, even in that place, you have to do it from a place of integrity, and you have to do it from a place because you really think you're going to bring value to this person, and this person's going to bring value to your practice by their experiences. So it's a mutual thing. It's a two-way street. It's not, oh, I'm the healer, I'm giving you all the information, and you're just a client. No. And what happened is, it was very interesting. I was like, well, maybe I'll take this person on as a client. And then I was just like, you know what? I don't think so. And it so happened that we didn't end up working together. And I realized it was actually for the best, because this client, it wouldn't have been a very pleasant experience for either of us. And I knew that. But if I had stayed in my fear-based mentality about needing money and like being like, I need to have these clients or whatever. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because that is a very real issue, right? Because my business depends on my clientele and how many people I'm like seeing, whatever it is. And yet, even there, your intuition can save you a lot of time and money. Okay? Because sometimes when you're invested in a client or you're invested in a situation, what happens is a lot of your energy is invested there. So for me, I realized that I don't need to keep doing that to myself. You know what I mean? If you guys have any comments or anything as I'm talking, if you want me to address it as I'm going about, go ahead and type it in the chat box. I'll address it. So basically, a very quick way to start developing your intuition even more. Yeah. Jem is saying, my intuition is what helps me guide my clients. Exactly. And one very quick way, okay, you don't even need to do a course. You don't need to ask anyone. Your body. How does your body react around people? Not how you think your body reacts around people. I want you to keep this in mind, okay? How does your body react to others? Okay, around the situation, around the problem. So for example, say you're bothered about a situation, but somehow you notice your entire body is at ease. That's your intuition telling you, your energy telling you everything is fine. And I always tell people, your body knows more than your mind. Your mind is just filled up with a bunch of useless facts. Okay, that's why you'll hear, go follow your joy, go follow your desire, go do this, go do that, because that is putting your body in a place of love, abundance, and freedom. Because when you're doing things that make you happy and you're actually feeling joyful, your body is in that place of calm. Your intuition is saying everything is being handled. Okay, if you're in a situation where your body is tensed up, so for example, you meet a new person, right, at a party or something, like, or somebody introduces you, and you just like, you click, you feel so home with this person. Everybody has had this, right? You just like, you're like, I know this person, I've known them, and you're like, I've just known them for 5 minutes. That's your body telling you that this is a good person to be. This is somebody that it's a complementary relationship. Now, you can meet someone and something about this person throws you off. This is really helpful for dating, by the way, right? So if you go, you meet this person and something's just not fitting right. Okay? Something feels wrong. It just feels so icky. But everything looks good. They're talking to me nicely, they look good, blah, 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 blah. But something doesn't feel right. So what you're going to do is your mind, right? Your mind focuses on the facts. It says, but, with your body, there's no yeah, but. Your body says a hell yes or a hell no. If it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. There's no in between. There is no in between, okay? So when you think about it, okay. So Jem said, I agree. I made a vow that if I feel icky after dealing with someone, I will not engage with them for a while. Good job, Jem. Ryan is asking, what if everything feels right, but they still irritate the heck out of you? So that there is growth happening. So it doesn't mean that just because it feels right, you're not going to have growth going on, right? So in my relationships, when my body is not at constant war with my mind, I can focus on the growth part of that. So if everything feels right, but you're feeling irritated, that irritation is teaching you something about yourself. Okay? But overall, even like working through the irritation won't feel as much work. We have all had those friendships, those relationships, right? Where it's not the easiest relationship, but it's not hard to work through issues. We have all had that, right? Where sometimes you can go through some really difficult issues when you have that. And it's like, well, let me just focus on the fact that I am not going to be stressed out on having this conversation. And I can tell you right now, I don't have easy relationships, right, in my life, whether it's my friendships, whether it's my romantic relationships, whether it's my family, whatever it is. Nothing in my life is really technically easy, but it's a lot of fun to work through my issues because I realized nothing that's showing up in my experience is not a part of what I'm going through in the inside. So what's going on in the outside that shows up for me is what's going on in the inside. It's just teaching me. And then Ryan saying, I've learned to pick people out when that happens. And I think that's fair enough, right? So sometimes you might have to just take a break. So, and this is the part of you learning about your intuition and like learning to understand it. Because guess what? Sometimes if the GPS connection is not good, it will not give you the updated information, right? So GPSs can sometimes not work either. Then what you have to do is you have to change the battery, you have to update the program, you have to do something about it. So, and I love that. Janet said, or kick them out, and when y'all meet again down the road, you'll be stronger in certain areas. I really like that, right? So it's basically the fact of the matter is that, remember, it's a dynamic process. You're learning how to build your intuition. So there are a couple of things. One, having a consistent practice. I don't need you guys to do this every day, right? You don't have to, but at least commit like 3 times a week to learning about yourself, okay? To learning about your intuition. Get to know your GPS. Get to know your intuition, right? Find out what it's saying. Find out what it's doing. So you can start off with something simple like when you go to the grocery store. Now, this is a good one. People ask me about this. What should I buy? So most people will go when they're hungry. And they will, I'm one of those people. I will go to a grocery store when I'm hungry. And this is the worst idea. But I've learned now, when I'm out and I will see how my body feels around certain products, around certain produce. And sometimes I get really excited. Sometimes I feel nothing. Sometimes I'm like, get me away from here. So there's 3 different reactions. Excited, neutral, get me away from here. Start paying attention to that. Okay? And the first thing is the consistent, like staying aware of yourself. Exactly. The second thing is you want to start paying attention to your body more than your mind. So pay attention to your mind, pay attention to your body and not what your mind is saying. That would be the second thing that I would say. Now, let's see how we can apply this, right? So let's say if you guys are dating. I don't know how many people here are into the dating scene or not. But if you are, this is a very, very powerful practice because all of a sudden when you're dating, now a lot of people will say, so how do I know? Everything looks great. I mean, it's the truth, right? You don't just go on a date with someone you don't think there's any potential. Like you'll probably go on a date with someone you at least think you're going to have a decent conversation, right? Let's just start with that because I don't know. I mean, I think some people might think more or whatever it is. So when you get on the date, let's say that a lot of things have checked out. You know, you liked how they look, you like the initial conversation, you like the place they picked, whatever it is. But you get there, so a few things can happen. You feel very excited. You feel nothing. And the other part is saying, get the hell out of here. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to convince yourself to stay and say, you know, this looks pretty good. And also, you know, maybe you haven't been on those many dates. Like, you know, you should just make the most of yourself. Why are you always like asking for so much? Blah, 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 blah. No, that's your body, aka your intuition, telling you something. Now, some people will tell me, but you know, I'm always panicking. I'm always stressed out. So what are you telling me? My body is always, no, your body isn't stressed out. Your mind is. Pay attention. Your body is never stressed out. You create stress for your body because of your mind, but your body isn't. Okay, I'll tell you how I learned this. I realized I was a terrible driver. All right, everyone knows that about me. I was a terrible driver. How did I start getting better? I would notice that when I would sit on the steering wheel, my hands would be clenching the wheel. Okay? I'd be clenching the wheel. My body was really stiff. And I realized because I was so tense here. And I would force my body to just calm down. And now I'm a pretty damn good driver. Like I know I am. But I could change that. I was able to transform that because I paid attention to my body. Okay? I paid attention to my body. So is your body constantly in a state of panic? No, it's not. It's actually telling you the truth more often than not. Like, let's say somebody has a weight, like they have trouble with their weight, right? Their body is telling them something. They're saying, pay attention to me. So what most of us do is we ignore what our body is saying. Instead, we're hating on it all the time. And so it's like you expect your body to somehow deal with all the shit you're putting in it, whether it's through your thoughts, whether it's through the environments that you're getting into, relationships that you're in, whatever it is. You're constantly putting your body in these places that it's not really helpful for it. So your body starts protecting you. It starts gaining weight. Or in some cases, people start losing weight, whatever it is. It's a product of your environment, of the people you hang out with, and the thoughts that you're putting into your body. So your body is screaming to you, hey, pay attention to me. Same thing with sickness. It's crazy how when you realize there's something called intuition and you apply it in every single area of your life, it's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. Like, I can't even understand how many people don't realize they have the biggest resource sitting in their body and they're not using it. I think, to me personally, that is one of the most frustrating things about how powerless we can think we are. When there's so much power sitting in each one of us. Each and every one of us is so powerful and we have no idea. So what I want you to ask yourself is, if you have this ability, what is the harm in developing it? Does it mean that you're going to be asked to go and sit in a cave and become a monk and meditate? Hell no. Absolutely not. That's like someone saying having a GPS is going to make your life more difficult when you're about to get on the road. I don't think so. It's informing you. And it's amazing. And I'll tell you right now, you stop wasting time. You stop wasting time. Okay. Another thing I'm going to tell you is have an altar space. When I say have an altar space, what I mean is and this will be, I will address this in a class. An altar space is very simple. What you do is create a particular area in either your bedroom or your living room, wherever it is, just a space where you put some objects of, like a stone or like a picture or like a color painting, whatever it is, you can put that there. And then, you have incense and, as you can see, this, or sage, whatever it is, candles, Having a space just dedicated to you sitting by yourself will also help you in connecting with your intuition, right? And that's what people call meditation. Like I said, meditation to me is just being aware, okay? You're just being aware. So meditation to me is this right now. Me telling you, look, you have intuition and you can really use it to benefit yourself. And after we get out this class, you say, you know what? Let me play on this one. And you're around somebody tonight after this call and you suddenly pay attention to how you're feeling. You're already meditating because you're aware. Meditation is just being aware. All right? I just want you to keep that in mind. Okay. We have a few more minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and cover up a few more points on this one. Crystals. Crystals. Okay, so crystals are another powerful way to strengthen your intuition. Why? Because crystals have healing properties. So when you're in a state of panic and you cannot listen to your body and you cannot figure out what your intuition is telling you, have a crystal. One of the crystals that I recommend is selenite. Okay, selenite is a really powerful crystal because all it does is clear stuff out. After I'm done telling you guys, I will bring out the stone. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about the stones, but I will bring out the stone and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So selenite is really powerful. It clears everything out. Everything. Second, listening to music. Now, if you can create an altar space and you can have some kind of meditative music, I have a few recommendations that I generally tell people. Snatam Kaur or Deva Pramal, like there are certain people whose chants are so beautiful, and you will get into the space where you feel more connected to your intuition. It is that part of the GPS that doesn't have too much static, so you can see where you're going in real time. Okay, so I want you to think after this class, what I really want for each one of you is to think of your intuition as your GPS. Okay, I don't want you to think of intuition as this, whoa, this crazy thing, this like out there thing. No. Starting off your intuition as simple as GPS. All right. And sometimes your GPS needs to be upgraded. So how do you upgrade it? You sit there and you realize, okay, I have to have an altar space. I have to spend more time with myself. Whatever it is to keep your GPS in good, healthy condition, that's what we want to do. Okay. So that's the other thing you want to do. Then the last thing I would say is connecting to nature. That really helps with intuition. Very simple exercise. Go out and stand near a tree. Put your hands on the tree. Okay? It grounds you to Mother Earth. Okay? So connect to nature. Or you can go to water. I'm in Chicago, so I can go to the water. There's Lake Michigan. I'm very grateful for that. So putting my feet in the water, that really helps. So there are a few things you can do. Again, none of this requires money. Even the crystals are not very expensive, okay? I'm not about spending a lot of money because really I don't feel there's any necessity to do that. So I want you guys to keep this in mind. Okay, what are the benefits of developing your intuition? What are the benefits of having a GPS to get to your destination? I really want you to just think about your intuition as your GPS. Okay, so I said earlier today, when I started this class, I will pick out someone to do a 30-minute energy assessment as I'm intuitively guided. Okay, so this happens a lot where, I have been to events and there are so many people. Like I went to an event in LA, there were 1,400 people. And this was one of the comedians, motivational speaker. I love him. His name is Kyle Cease. He called a bunch of people and you could see everyone sitting there, 1,400 people being like, well, why am I not being called? Well, why am I not being picked up? Because intuitively, Kyle Cease felt this is the person that will benefit the most and all the 1,400 people will benefit by what I'm going to bring up this person. So whoever gets picked today to have their reading or to have their assessment, just realize that whoever else didn't get picked up, you didn't really need that assessment. You got everything you needed. Now, how will we know whoever gets picked up? So it's literally that simple, right? You don't have to put too much thought into it, but I just want you to keep that in mind. Okay, so that's one more thing. So are you going to get to a place where you don't question your intuition? I question my intuition at times because sometimes it makes no sense, right? Like, especially if you meet someone and something doesn't, that's the part I judge myself most around. When I meet people and I feel like, I really just don't like this person, and here I'm a healer, right? It's almost like this whole thing, like, well, you have to like people. And I just don't like them. And I tell myself, why don't you just like, you can work on loving kindness, this, that, this. It's not that. My intuition is protecting me. It's saying, hey, there's something really off about this person. You shouldn't be around it. And your intuition is your friend. Your GPS is for you. It's your friend, okay? Now, just to add one more thing. How does it connect you to the divine? The divine is the bigger part of you. Your intuition doesn't come from the place of ego, okay? It comes from the place of the universe and your connection to it. Now, does anyone have any questions for me? Please type it out. I'm about to start giving you guys a reading. And think I'm being given an idea about who I'll be picking up to do the assessment. But let me just get the crystals. I want you guys to see it. So go ahead and type out your question. You have a few minutes. I'll be back. Okay, guys. So this is what a selenite looks like. Now, this selenite is from Morocco. You guys see it? It's so beautiful. I love it. Now, this wasn't as expensive. This was $4, like $5. But if you can see this, I'm actually going to do this for all of us. You can clear us out. This is like a white light. It just literally clears everything out. Okay? I think it's so beautiful. Even as a place, like, you can use this. So that's what I use. That's a selenite. Okay? Yeah. So Jamat says he has one. Okay, so does anyone have any questions for me or anything they want to ask? Anything they want me to clarify? I will go ahead and unmute everybody. You know what? I'm not going to unmute anyone. Why don't you unmute yourself if you want to say something? Because then that'll be easier. So go ahead and unmute yourself. Can you guys do that? Yeah. Okay, it's SELENITE. I'm going to put that down. Selenite. Let me make sure it's selenite because Gemma is saying it's selenite. Yeah, it's SELENITE. Okay, so does anyone want to unmute themselves and say anything? Yeah, but I mean, you got it pretty close, Gemma. Anyone?
Oh, so hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Great, because my connection is terrible. Yes, I'm gonna tell y'all from where I am. I got an energy assessment and an energy reading in person, so energy healing, and my intuition is off the charts. Like when I tell you, I've been meeting with my clients, and I can meet their needs so much better because I can intuitively see where they are, so to speak. I can really read their energy a lot better to understand what their needs are. And it wasn't like that before I had the energy assessment. So I do want to acknowledge like how much more I think I'm in tune with my divine self. So I really was excited about this class because I knew it was going to help me kind of step up what I've already had stepped up. So it kind of put some things in perspective for me. And I'm trying to like get better at following my intuition to the fullest. Like it's very important to me that I keep, consistent about it. That's all I had to say.
So Gemma, can you add to this whole thing of how do you feel when you think about it as a GPS? Because I think sometimes people use the word intuition and they get all worked up. They say, oh my God, intuition. When you think of it as a GPS, does it make it a little more relatable?
Well, my thing about it was, it's just like when you look at it as like being a genius, it's like you know what you know, right? You don't have to guess that. So I think calling it, just accepting that you're a genius and that you know what you know, you should understand that you are a genius and you know what you know. So it really works for me to know that. And I tell people all the time, like, if I open my mouth, I know what I'm talking about, right? Because I really allow myself to be intuitively guided about a lot of things. So generally, I won't even say nothing if I don't know, but more than likely, I will know because I'm very in tune with myself.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I'm the genius of branding and marketing because, like, I can intuitively feel where people are, what people like. So it's easier for me to do that, and I'm a genius, So I like that. I do like that. Understanding that I'm a genius and I know what I know.
Yeah.
And that's just it. There's weakness that can guess me being a genius.
Yeah. And I think it's amazing that we all have intuition and like, it actually makes your life a lot more workable, right? Because I think one of the things you have shared before is you were struggling without, I guess, your intuition. If would you like to would you maybe phrase it that way, like without really applying, you didn't know how to apply your intuition because you knew you were intuitive, but something wasn't working.
Right. I really felt like, and because I went to the Abraham Hicks workshop, they was just like, you have to do the energy work before you take action. So it was just like, I was very intuitive, but I just didn't know how to work and deal with the energy. So when I got with Sweat, I learned more about working with the energy of everything.
Yeah.
That's what helped it all out.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to have intuition, but it's like if you don't know how to deal with the energy of the intuition or pay attention to it or know how any of it works, it's really a harder life.
So do you think Ryan is saying that it sounds like he's using intuition a lot, which makes a lot of sense. I think one of the things that is really beautiful and powerful about having a community, right, is to know that we're not all crazy, right? Each one of us is not going to be becoming an energy healer or any of that, right? You don't have to. I think we're all healers. We're all born to learn some lessons, clear certain things, and just be feeling much better. Um, but we just weren't given the tools to apply them, and that's what I feel about Gemma. That very highly intuitive, and yet didn't have everything that would sort of start clicking. And now that's what's going on. So I want to invite each and every one of you on this call to realize that you have that too. And if you are struggling, it's okay because your struggle doesn't define you. And I promise you right now, it doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in, your intuition will get you out of there. Your ego will keep you stuck. Your intuition, your higher self will get you out of whatever roadblock you're on, whatever traffic jam you're on, whatever. It will take you to that place. I can tell you right now, there's so many things I feel are impossible. And now I just know that I can get to the next place. That's why when people see me or they interact with me, they think I'm not, they naturally assume I'm never stressed out. And it's a huge compliment. But what most people don't understand is I work at it. It is not just what you see is what you get. A lot of times, if you were to get into my head, you guys would be shocked. You'd be like, wait, you really wonder about these things? Yeah, absolutely. I'm still human. I'm still being affected, but I see more proof where my intuition is constantly helping me out and my ego is keeping me stuck. I'll give you guys a personal example, then we're going to move on to the reading, unless somebody wants to give some more feedback and comments. So Ryan's saying, I can always tell what feels good and what doesn't. That makes a lot of sense. Ryan's very intuitive, so I'm not surprised, Ryan. Jem is saying, I wasn't in an environment or had people who supported my intuition. I do now. And that's because Jem continues to make the choice to listen to his intuition and really not letting himself get down, and so it's incredible.
Right. And my intuition that got me, it was the intuition that got me with Sweater. It's the intuition that got me into Energy Rock Stars. Like me following like my ego or following what everybody around me would say, I wouldn't be a part of this kind of stuff.
And I think that's...
Did I get cut off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay, so I think Gemma's connection is going in and out. So Gemma, actually, hold on to that thought. Ryan said he needs to leave. So I wanted to give him a quick reading. So Ryan, we'll give you a reading first, but Gemma, you hold on to that thought. So after I'm done with Ryan, we can finish that up. Ryan, you have a specific question or you just want a general reading? Oh, we lost him. Well, that sucks. Okay. Well, before I lose anyone else, I also wanted to tell you guys I have a very special class next week. It will be to connect to people that have passed away. Okay, so it's an incredibly sensitive topic for a lot of people, but recently in my meditations and in my sessions, a lot of people who have passed over have come. I don't call myself a medium. I'm a chakra specialist and an energy healer, but I do believe there are messages for you guys that are coming through. So I will be holding that class. I will put out the information for you guys. So just keep that in mind. So anyone who's passed away and that kind of thing, all right? So I just wanted to tell you that. That was what my announcement was, outside of who I'm going to pick to do the 30-minute energy assessment. All right, guys. So Ryan's gone, but let's take a card out for him so that he can see it. Let me just see. Okay. So he's gotten the card, Four of Earth. And this card says, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. So it's talking about being charitable. Now this, for Ryan, it feels like his second and his heart chakra need to be connected. They need to be balanced out. That's what this is about. So I'll put that in the group so you can see the reading. Now let's see who is next. Miran. I'm going to unmute you, love. Alrighty. All right, sweetheart. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So any questions? Anything you want to particularly talk about?
I guess all my concerns right now are kind of surrounding just, my work and my move and all of that. So, I mean, no question in particular, but that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now.
Are you worried about money?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a lot of fear around money. I haven't picked out your card yet, but there's a lot of fear around money. So let me just see. All right. You're really tight for the next month, it feels like. Does that feel like it's true?
Yes and no. I mean, I definitely, I definitely have, I'm okay. I just,
No.
I'm worried of not being okay.
No, like you feel very tight with money for about a month, and then it feels like there'll be a flow. Does that kind of make sense?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm getting is right now, that feeling of the money being tight, even if whether it's really not, that's the part that you want to work on. So one of the things I would recommend for you is to actually buy a crystal. That will really help you with this feeling of the tightness, the money feeling tight.
Okay.
Okay, let me see which one you have to get. Your move is going to be fine. I'm being told that that's like the angels are screaming that, by the way.
Okay.
Your money, like your move is going to be fine. They're telling you, they're saying don't even worry about it. Everything's going to be fine with that. So let me see.
Okay.
Okay, so what was your question? I think you were saying something before.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, I can do it anytime. I'm just like, I think I'm just, just kind of worried and scared, and I've been putting it off. So I don't know if I should just continue to put it off or just go for it.
Yes, go for it. But I would buy the crystal first. And for you, what I'm being told is get a rose quartz and onyx. Okay? It's rose quartz and onyx. Rose quartz will help with the heart chakra. Onyx will help you with just feeling strong and not feeling as stressed out. Because right now the anxiety is very strong.
Yeah. I've actually been considering just kind of canceling it and moving somewhere that that's much closer and that I've lived before. Chicago, actually. I used to live there for several years, and it's just so much closer to home. And I'm like, oh, this would be such an easier move. And I don't know, I'm just kind of toying with that, and or the big one to Texas, which gives me like severe anxiety.
Let me see. You're done with Chicago, sweetheart.
Say that again?
You're done with Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. It's time to try out something new. All right.
Okay.
So what you got is Queen of Earth. And this is a really powerful card. It says, thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. This came upside down, which means the energy is complete. So now you're getting close to the decision-making time. And what it's saying is you have done the whole sensible thing. You have made time. But now it's like time for you to get on to the next part of your journey.
Okay.
And the more you wait, the longer you're taking.
Okay. Yeah. No, I totally.
Chicago feels complete for you. It doesn't, you can come to visit, but it doesn't feel like there's much going on as far as like work and stuff. Have you felt that?
Well, I mean, I work from home, so I can honestly live anywhere that I choose. So that's the kind of nice thing about my job. But it's also driving me crazy because I have like all these, places to choose from, and I don't know how to make a decision. And yeah.
So this is what I will do. Let's work on your intuition. Why don't you write a list of places and stop listening to what your mind feels, but write down a list of the places that you want to go to and see how your body reacts to each place. Stop trying to figure it out from your head. Let your intuition help you out. How about that? Apply what we did in class today to this like really important life decision that you need to make. Okay. So basically what you want to do is you want to make a list and you want to write down all the places, then read the name of the place and see how, not what your mind is saying. Your mind will say a lot of things. It's going to throw things at you. But how does your body feel? Do you get excited? Are you just like, whatever, forget it? Absolutely not. Take it off the list. Does that make sense? You can lessen it. Yeah. It'll be a fun experiment. You might be surprised. Because right now, your mind is talking too much.
Yeah, I definitely believe that.
Okay, so let's activate your GPS so that it can take you where you need to go.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Doug? Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you. All righty, let's see. So next is Coco. I have unmuted you. Can you hear me, honey?
Yes, hi, I can hear you.
Hi. Okay, so do you have any questions? Do you have any, do you want to share any insights before we do your reading?
No, whatever message you have. I don't have any questions right now.
Well, you feel very calm. Are you feeling calm?
Oh, yeah. I had a little procedure today, so I'm probably still feeling the anesthesia.
Yeah, you feel very calm. You feel good. I want to feel that calm. Okay. All right, let's see what message we have here. Okay, this is your card here. It says King of Fire. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Now, I just want to say this. I'm going to repeat the card, actually. King of Fire. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Before I picked up the card, I closed my eyes. I was shown a girl. It wasn't you, but I was shown a girl. So I didn't get quite more information about it, but connecting this to that energy, is there a friend that you're sort of connected to that is sort of, do you know what this person might be who showed up?
No.
So it looks like there might be a conversation you'll be having with a woman in your life. And when you do it from a place of strength and leadership. That's what I'm being told.
Okay, well, maybe it's one of my daughters.
Yes. That's what I'm being told.
Okay.
Yeah. So communicate with, like, be very clear about what you're saying. Don't get emotional. Don't get sentimental. I'm being told, like, just communicate with calm and strength, and everything is like okay. But yeah, like a girl, it is your daughter. Yeah, it's one of your daughters.
Okay.
All right. So be a leader, be the mother, I guess. Like,
All right.
I am trying to tell you. So yeah, and focus, focus, focus. So whatever the matters at hand, because sometimes with kids, the conversations can go all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't have any children, but I know that's what happens because I used to do that with my mom.
I say girls. Yeah.
Yeah, you like to push your mom's buttons. Okay, push your mom's buttons. Okay, so that's your message, darling. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And also for you, Coco, I would say, start applying your GPS, because as a mother, you develop your intuition even strongly. So, have fun with that. Like where you know how to get into a situation and you talk to them and you're like, okay, this is what we're talking about. Also for you, sweetheart, selenite is coming up strongly. That will really help you.
Okay. Yeah, I have plenty of that.
Yeah. So just use that. That's really, really good for you. So that's being confirmed. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's see who is next. Ashley. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Ashley. Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. So do you want to give any feedback? Do you want to say something before I pick up your card? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
All right, you guys are very sweet. You guys don't ask questions. I'm like, this is nice. I used to ask a lot of questions, but like clearly that always got me in a little bit of trouble. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's see what the message is for you. Wow. All right. Well, the first thing I want to tell you before I show you your card, Ashley, is like, I'm getting a sense there's a lot going on in your life right now. It just feels like there's a lot of motion, like a lot of movement, lots of stuff going on. And it's interesting because what the card came up for you is unity. Okay? So whatever is going on in your life right now, there's a common theme to all of those situations going on. And what this is traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So it's interesting because I think you just joined the group and you're on this class today. So it's like it is all indicating that you're moving in the right direction. So whatever is going on, there's a theme. I want to see what the theme is. Okay, the theme seems to be speaking your truth, which means that whatever is going on, it's very important for you to always be in your truth. Okay? So don't get, what am I being told? Don't get worked up about like somebody not believing what you have to say or not really caring about what you have to say. Just remember that this is about you speaking your truth. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody who was very close to me, very dear to me, and it was an incredibly honest conversation. But it actually turned out pretty well because I realized I wasn't saying these things to hurt the person. I was just speaking my truth. So keep that in mind. Your truth can never hurt you.
Yeah, that sounds right. I get it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just keep that in mind, okay? And that's your,
Okay.
when you're doing, so spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. I think we know what that means. You're part of this group, you're in this class, it's all pointing to being in the right place. All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Thank you. All righty. So let's see who next is. Angie. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, sweetheart. Oh, and Ryan's back. Ryan, I actually did a reading for you, so I will do another one, but I did do a reading for you, so that will be available. So, yeah, but it's okay. I'll do another reading for you. So after Angie, I will do your reading. So just stick around, okay? All right, Angie, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. All right. So, hi, Angie. I have unmuted you. Where are you? I don't. Yes. Hi. Okay. Are you not able to speak into the phone? If you can, that's completely fine. Do you have any questions? You are on the, I did unmute you, sweetheart. Sorry, can't audio. No problem. Do you have anything to, you have a particular question before I pull out your, do your reading? No questions. All right. Well, let's look at a card. Okay, Angie, just want you to know, before I picked out your card, the angels want you to know that you have to take care of your health, all right? I'm not sure what is going on, but you're not spending enough time taking care of yourself. So that could be you're not eating enough, you're not drinking enough water, or you're just not taking enough care of yourself, whatever it is, all right? Oh, wow, okay. This is your card, Ace of Fire. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. I'm going to repeat this. Ace of Fire. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Yes, that's a great card. So I will say, whatever changes are coming up in your life, you have to make sure you take care, spend some time taking care of yourself. Okay? You're so bored at work. That's so funny. Yeah, I'm being told you have to like take better care of yourself. All right? So that's what your card is. All right. So let's see. Ryan. All right. I went ahead and unmuted you, Ryan. If you want to speak, you can speak. If not, you can just keep typing. That's completely fine. No audio. Okay. So you type. Okay. So you have a question in particular? I wish I remembered what your reading was. I don't. So I'm just going to do another one for you. And then we have, okay, let's deal with me and food. All right, let's see. When you ask that, are you asking about any particular foods that you should stay away from? When you say what's the deal with me and food, like lots of stuff. Okay. Okay. You got a card, Ten of Fair, in response to that question. It's a higher purpose thing. I'll tell you what it is. The end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. Ten of Fair. The end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. All right. Emperor Archangel Michael. You've been getting Archangel Michael quite a bit in your readings, Ryan. I would highly recommend you start working with him in your meditations. It says organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. All right. The reason you have to cut down on the sugar, it's affecting your third eye. It's affecting your sixth chakra. It's affecting your pineal gland. Okay. So it's directly affecting your intuition. So for me, I have become vegan since February. And it's been a very, it's been a tough transition at times, but it has really, really powerfully affected my practice and my energy and my intuition and my guidance and everything. So yes, a big part is your nervous system is so sensitive is because you are highly intuitive and you're empathetic. So that is a very normal feeling to certain foods are going to affect you. Okay? And what it is those foods, well, find alternatives. Natural sweeteners, I'm being told. But processed sugar, okay, so processed foods, if you can start cutting down on that, that will really help because there's not much life force. So this is something actually everybody on this call can really utilize to benefit themselves. How do you decide if you should eat something or not? You want to see how much life force that particular thing has. Processed sugar doesn't have much life force, okay? It's processed. So for you specifically, Ryan, start cutting down on the processed foods, okay? Okay, so the other thing I'm being told is cutting down on this, the sugar, like, you know, like rice, pasta, that kind of stuff. So anything that gets quickly into sugar for your bloodstream, you want to cut down on that. Does that make sense? Yeah. I think it's funny that you're asking this question because I know for myself, I'm going to cutting down on my sugar, but I don't like sugar that much anyway, so it's not as bad. But there's enough sugar in other things. So for you, sugar is definitely about your intuition, and it's funny that you're asking this. So just for everybody in general also on this call, sugar does that. Yeah, I mean, one thing you know about yourself, Ryan, you're very sensitive to energy, right? So we're working on strengthening that. Okay, it's not that bad. Remove the bad stuff and start calling it chaotic. There's chaos. There's a lot of chaos that happens. You don't want it to be bad or good, right? Just call it a lot of chaos happens, a lot of harmony happens. Let's stay away from the words that our mind clings on to. Okay? So yes. And another thing I would do is just what I told Miran. I would basically write down about, make a list of the foods that you feel you should eat or shouldn't eat. Write them down and see how your body reacts to it. Like, how does your body feel when you write down these things? Okay? So use today's class and the exercise that I said to help you connect to that. All right, dear? Yeah, so do that. That would be like a fun exercise. All right, so we have, let's see who the next person is. Okay, it's Teja. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Hi, honey. How are you? Hey. Okay. So, you have any questions? You want to give any insights? Any feedback?
I have questions and input. I absolutely like the call that you're doing today because, yeah, sometimes your body just tells you things and you just don't know how else to react to it. So I don't know. I had this moment last week that was a very interesting experience. As you know, I just moved to New York.
Yes, congratulations.
So thank you. So it was last week, and you know, it can be very overwhelming. It was one thing to think it; it's another to live here. So there was this one moment where I was on the train, and I just didn't feel good. Something in my body just told me to just get out. You know, it's just, you know, and I listened. I didn't force myself to think anything. And that moment, like the whole phone call when you're speaking, everybody's input about being intuitive, it's just that your body knows. That was my GPS for that day where I just, you know, figured it's just better to walk. And I walked in great weather. It was just a weird experience, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been interesting. moving here. But yeah, and I have questions in the sense finding a place is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So that's been a little stressful, and I've been like very emotional since I've been here. Maybe I have no idea why.
Well, so
Yeah.
first of all, let me just say this. 3 cards came out for you, so we'll see what they say. But let me just say a few things. When you didn't question that, that was actually really powerful because you heard about the train crash that happened in Jersey, right? In Hoboken last week?
Yeah, it was the same day. This was just 2 hours later that I got off the train, and yeah, that happened this morning.
Exactly. Because it reminds me of 9/11. There were people that just because they were 5 minutes late, and it seemed like it was something that they got late over, their lives were spared. So really, our intuition will always protect us. So yeah, actually when you started saying that, I was going to be like, was it the same day that happened? Because that's what I got the sense. So another reason, I'm being told that right now you're not supposed to be looking for an apartment for the next, like at least for the next couple of weeks. Like slow up on it, and something is going to show up.
Okay.
Something is going to appear.
Something what?
Something will show up for you, but for the next couple of weeks, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, don't keep looking for it. You're not going to find anything.
Okay.
Okay. What that means is you're putting too much pressure to find something, and what you have there's a place for you, but it's not showing up because you're putting too much pressure on it. Because your mind is telling you have to look for it. You have to look for it. Your mind's going crazy. Your body is going crazy with your mind. So write down the places that you might want to move to and like just options, and see where your body is reacting to it and see how you feel. But right now I'm being told take a break from this because you just moved and you need a break. Okay. You can't be in this go, 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 go. And that's why you're emotional. Another reason you're feeling emotional is because you have had a huge life transition. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So you're finally dealing with that. So you're finally like healing. It's kind of like before, think about you were in a battlefield. You had no time to sit there and deal with your emotions. You were just on a go, go, go. You're like, I gotta make it. Now you have the space to be going through healing. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's
that's a good one.
It's annoying, but that's what's going on. Because now there's space for you to feel your emotions that you haven't been allowed to feel. Look, just because you're in a happy space doesn't mean that you can't be emotional about it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
That's why you don't beat yourself up for being emotional. Your emotions are finally having the space to breathe and talk.
Okay.
So, almost.
That makes me feel better.
So what you should do is give yourself a hug every morning.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what your cards are. All right. So you have gotten 5 of air. So this actually is, I'm being told, is what was going on in Texas, the energies with a friend of yours. It says an unwise choice, learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives. I think you know what we're talking about, correct? Okay. That's what this card is. Then we have King of Fire, which had come up for someone earlier. And this is again, focus, focus, focus. This feels like it's about your work. Focus, focus, focus.
Yeah.
Communicate with vision, be a leader, advice from someone creative. And that someone creative feels like it's your boyfriend, so he generally gives pretty good feedback, so you can trust him.
Okay.
And you can also start feeling more authoritative at work because they do value your input. Now, the last card is really cool. It's 3 of water. And this one says a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or birth announcement, the need to have more fun. The angels, Kali is very loudly saying, you're in New York right now. Start having fun, okay? The time to struggle is done. You hear me?
Yes.
You're done struggling. You're in New York. You're with somebody that you deeply care for. Start having fun. What that means
Okay.
is focus on the things that now you're able to do, which you weren't able to do before, because now that you have the new job and all of these things, and your place will show up a lot quicker that way than
Okay.
focusing on like, oh my God, this has to get done. And what Gemma is saying is celebrate all the good stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
So that's
Thank
okay. So give yourself a hug every day, or ask your boyfriend to give you a hug morning and night. See lots of hugs. Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. I believe we have Joy and Gemma. Gemma, please type out if I did not do a reading for you. I don't think I have, but I think I have to go with Joy first. So, Joy, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Okay, Joy, I have unmuted you, sweetheart. And I'm just going to read what you said. I'm so ready to move in progress in my network marketing business. One is so simple and great, looking for folks that can think out the box of traditional networking marketing. Okay. All right. I have unmuted you. Do you want to add to what you just typed out, Joy, or do you want to like say something? Okay. Okay, I take the lead. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will go ahead and mute that. All right. So, Joy, let me see. So I think there's a lot of frustration right now. Oh, good. Miran, you're still here. I just realized for you, Miran, using affirmations will also help. Okay? Just wanted you to know that. I was just reminded to make sure I tell you that. Using affirmations will be really powerful too. So everybody that got the Mercury retrograde kit, there's affirmations in there. So you can use one of those affirmations. All right, sweetheart? All right, Joy, back to you. Let's see what we got here. You are welcome. All right. Joy, I want you to connect to your heart. If you can connect to your heart, just real quick, just bring your attention to your heart. Okay, there we go. Good. All right. So two things that showed up, Joy, for you is one is there's a lot of frustration, and the other is that there's a lot of exhaustion. You feel very exhausted. Okay. And we'll see what that's about. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Well, Archangel Michael's obviously really strong here because he's again shown up. So this card is the Emperor, Archangel Michael, organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. All right, it's complete power. Everybody that had an Archangel Michael card, I will invite you to bring him into your prayers and your meditation before you go to sleep tonight. Call him in and ask him to help you with whatever situations at hand. The next card is really cool, Joy. It's the High Priestess, Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition, have patience, okay? Consider carefully what you want before acting. All right, I'm gonna repeat that. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. So what I'm being told is there's this sense of impatience about things not moving as quickly as you want them to move. But right now, it's not, everything isn't complete for it to manifest, right? It just feels like you've sown the seeds and it's taking fruit. So it takes a little bit of time. And I'm being told it's not that you're not doing everything, it's just the course of nature. So that is what you have to work with. One thing I want to do with everybody is to do a vision board class. So I can teach you guys how to connect your energy to creating those intention and the vision boards, because it's actually a lot of fun. A lot of people don't know how to create a vision board because they just put everything out there and then they're like sitting and waiting for it to happen. So that's something I would invite you to be a part of, Joy, like the vision board class, because it will be very powerful. Like we're going to talk about how to create the life that you want, but having the vision board. Okay, so I'm going to tell everybody on this class to actually join that. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So for you, sweetheart, it's Archangel Michael and Archangel Haniel. Very powerful archangels. So I would call both of them. All right? Okay. And again, I'm being told, call on Archangel Michael, whoever's gotten the card. It's going to be very powerful. All right. Now, Jamet, I have gone ahead and unmuted you, sweetheart. Okay. You have any questions?
Howdy.
Hi. You have any questions? No, maybe yes. Okay, his line is not good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, you're fine now. You have no questions, you said?
Yeah, I don't.
All right, let's see what the cards are
I
telling.
don't have any questions. You know, we're reading.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. I've gone in and muted you, Gemma, because there's a lot of background sound, but let's see. Okay, interesting. So you're getting two cards. This, I feel, connects to certain things that you've probably been going through. It's Page of Air, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. So the thing that's standing out for me here is the truth delivered without tact, that sometimes some people around you, it's hard to tell them the truth without them getting worked up about it. So what I will say for you is call on Archangel Raziel, the Hermit. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. So if you are having a difficult time communicating what you need to communicate, I'm being told, call on Archangel Raziel. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you right now. Okay. Does that make sense, Gemma? You're unmuted.
Yeah, I have been having a difficult time meditating like the last couple of days. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it was. But, you know, and I really need to find a way to start being honest with a lot of these people, too. Because, you know.
Yeah. So call on Archangel Raziel when you're going to talk to these people. All right? That's what will really help. Call on Archangel Raziel.
And I kind of broke up in the meditation. I need to focus on what?
You call on Archangel Raziel. Archangel Raziel to help you with the conversations.
And with the meditation?
Okay, so with the meditation for you, you don't have to try and sit and do it, but I'm being told doing guided meditations is going to work better for you when you don't feel like you can just sit there and do it. Does that
Actually, that's what I thought today. That's exactly what I thought today. I thought today I need to just, you know what, just go with a good guided meditation.
Exactly. Do the guide. So you're being confirmed. And this is such a perfect example, by the way, guys, for everybody to hear about intuition. I just confirmed what his intuition was telling him. That's literally what I just did. And that's really cool. So yeah, listen to guided meditation. It will be very, very helpful.
It was a genius thing because I was like, I work really well with guided meditations. Like I can work really well with guided meditations. So I was like, why am I giving myself such a hard time when, like, I already know the solution?
So one thing I'll say is you obviously know I have a SoundCloud meditation channel, so you can listen. They're 5 minutes long because most people cannot go beyond 5 minutes. It's like insane. We can't even sit with ourselves. But the 5-minute meditation still will get you into the flow. So I want to say this to everybody that is attending this class. Stop trying to meditate for 20 minutes a day. Just start with 5 minutes. That's more than enough. Okay. And I have created 5-minute meditations. You don't only have to listen to mine. You can listen to anything that calls you, but 5 minutes is more than enough. If you can do 5 minutes every single day, you are golden. You're developing your intuition. So I would say I highly recommend that. So yeah, guided meditation for you is really, it's going to be very, very helpful and powerful for you, Jenna.
Okay.
All right. Okay, great. So go ahead, Lovey.
You're the best.
You're so sweet. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and does anyone have any questions? I'm just going to give you guys about a minute or so. Anyone have any questions? So Joy just asked a question. She goes, nothing about me moving. Not yet. Not yet. I'm being told, wait for 2 weeks or so before the answers start to come. Okay. For now, I would call in the Archangel for you. I believe it was Archangel Michael. I would call in Archangel Michael and like spend some time getting your energy cleared out so that the answers can come through and the stuff can work out. Does that make sense, Joy? I'm getting a sense in the next 2 weeks you'll have your answers. Janet is saying, I think everybody in here wants to move. I would agree. Delia, I agree, garlic interrupts intuition. I personally don't. I love garlic. I love it. But I think if it is giving you a hard time with your intuition, then it's not for you, right? So again, you're just figuring out a personal relationship with your intuition. I'm just saying I have a hard time setting intentions. Okay, so here's the thing. With intentions, don't try to have 20 million intentions, all right? All you have to do is have one intention, which is I'll start developing a relationship with my intuition as of today. Spend 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes out for yourself. That's all you have to do. You don't have to set intentions with everything. Start small and you'll see it will build upon itself. And yes, I agree, everyone's trying to move. I am actually looking forward to the vision board party. So I have a question for you. Since you guys have been pretty much regularly showing up for the classes, do you guys want me to create a vote in the class? In the group to ask you what times work better for everybody? Or is this working out just okay? Does anyone want to give me that? Because I can create that, right? The poll is a good idea. Okay, Ryan's saying the poll is a good idea. I haven't done that, so this is I'll do it. I know the vision board class is going to be very powerful, so I want to make sure that, it's at a time when everyone can be a part of it. Okay. Yeah, this is I think this is a reasonable time to do it, but so I'll do a poll and I'll try to keep it, I'll only offer these kind of times, so we can go from that. But yeah, I'm excited for the vision board party because that's going to be an actual party. And I love the results that people get from vision boards because you really, really get to the nitty-gritties of what's going on for you, Peace and increase is good. The other than Wednesday at 7. Perfect. Okay, well, you guys are awesome. I'm really glad that we were able to do this. So let's go ahead and close up the energies of this class. All right. So if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Let's wave the selenite here so everyone's energy gets cleared up. All right, guys. Okay, so visualize the sun above your head. Take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath, visualize the sun above your head, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. Take another deep breath and visualize the sun above your head, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. In this moment, give yourself permission to just be. Take one last deep breath and visualize the sun above your head, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. slowly open your eyes when you feel ready. And I haven't gotten a sense of who gets to be picked for the energy assessment. So I'll post that in the group tonight with your name tagged in it. So let's see who the universe picks out for, okay? All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining in. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.